Anybody want to join me? I'm going to read them and you just read along with me. So win-win or no deal.
No deal.
Yep. Integrity.
Integrity. Do the right thing.
Awesome. Customers always come
first.
Commitment.
In
all
things.
Communication. Speak first. Understand. Creativity. Ideas or results. Teamwork. Together, everyone achieves more. Trust starts with
honesty.
Equity. Opportunities for all. And success results through people.
I got a tiny bit of
I had like teamwork is everyone achieves more. There's a whole set of motions to these. It's so much fun. I learned it in February and then I forgot it immediately, but it was fun seeing like the Mark King, the president of the company, get up there doing it. It's fun. It's very kind of Bible school. I like that. Oh, which we'll get to that. Yeah. So bucket fills. Who wants to fill some buckets? Anybody? I'll just kind of let you guys jump out there. Can Zoom go first before the office? Anybody in Zoom? Who's going to win? Bucket fills. I got stamina today. I can wait all day.
Just dead silence until somebody said something.
Kelly, thanks for doing things.
That was a big shout out from Ashley. Thanks to Kelly for doing things. I do.
Sitting on your butt all day.
I do like that. What was that?
I second that. I'm thankful for Kelly and her helping keep things going.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I would third that. For all the things you do. And I would like to fill some buckets for the agents that I've had now that I'm in Wenatchee more often, I'm getting to meet so many amazing agents, and to all the agents that I've met in the last 3 or 4 weeks here. It's just been a pleasure getting to meet you, learning about your business and helping everyone grow. And so I've just really, I don't know, enjoyed getting to know people. It's one of my favorite things about this job. So yeah, awesome. We do have some newcomers. This is awesome. So far in October, we welcomed Lynn Zelasco, Ed Belmutis. If you don't know him, he was with us a few years ago and now he's back. So we're welcoming him back home. He's up in Leavenworth. He's got his managing broker's license. Really cool guy. Got to meet him a little bit on Friday. And then Fabiola Padilla, she goes by Fabi. She just got her license. She's getting her fingerprints figured out, but she'll be joining us here this month. So another new agent to welcome. And then we've got a couple of very experienced agents. So when you guys get a chance, remember these names, reach out to them on Facebook. We'll have the recording up later today, but we just want to make these guys feel welcome. And yeah, so that's newcomers for October. Let's see here. October birthdays. This is awesome. There's a lot of birthdays in October. Kelly Hain had one on Friday, so happy belated birthday to Kelly. If you haven't wished her happy birthday, I hope it was a happy one for you. You're having a birthday month. There you go. So we can keep them coming. Happy birthday to Julie over this weekend on Saturday. We got our very own JR Cooper. Got a birthday coming up here. Say hi, JR. JR is here with us in the office. Awesome. So Friday, and then Brian Hepler. If you guys haven't met this guy, he is a commercial real estate agent. He hangs his license here and in Arizona. Was in town this week, was hoping to connect with him, but haven't been able to connect yet. Yeah, which is a bummer, but he's a really cool guy and he does a lot of commercial. So if you guys are ever wondering about commercial real estate, I can connect you with Brian. He's a great resource there. Kathy Coffee. This Saturday, woo, happy birthday, Kathy. Coming up this weekend. And then we've got Cheyenne Avila on Monday, October 17th. Then our very own Tom Brasher, a couple Saturdays from now, and Dale Chapman on Halloween. I think that would be a fun birthday to have. Is Dale with us today? Is that a fun birthday to have on Halloween? So that's it. That's it for October birthdays. Wanted to congratulate Emily Ostrom for capping on royalty. Awesome. enjoy keeping that royalty money with the rest of your closings. Top 5 has changed a little bit. We've had a few closings since our last sales rally. Brooke at almost 37.4 million. Lisa at 21.1, Brian at 13.7, Jeff Hallman at 11.6, and Sydney Groen at 8.9. So yeah, woohoo! It was top 5. And I believe we actually have Sydney with us. She is going to go over, if she wants to hop on here, this program. So 90 listings in 90 days. She's going to take us through what all that means.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Hey Sydney, yep, I can
Hey,
hear you.
I'm sorry, I'm feeling real sick. I think I have the stomach bug that Michael and Melody had a while back, so I'm not feeling good. So I'm gonna make it short. But 90 listings in 90 days. This is our 4th quarter open enrollment for the productivity coaching. So those of you who have met with me and talked about the productivity coaching before, normally it's a 1-year contract, 1-year agreement. This is just for 4th quarter. So it's a nice way to try it out and, see if you like the productivity coaching, and it's all listing focused. So as hopefully all of inventory is still historically super low, still a great time to sell. And if you list, you last. So that's what this 4th quarter productivity specific course is all about. So if you would like to know more, call or email me. Might have a hard time getting back to you today, but I will certainly get back to you as soon as I can. Any
Awesome.
questions on that, you guys?
Yeah, any questions, feel free to throw it in the chat or raise your hand, whatever you'd like to do. But if you got any questions about this PC program, fire away. Anybody? All right, we got someone.
Is there any upfront cost?
There is no upfront cost, Melody. And so it's you get in the program, and then what you close during that 90 days, the PC program gets 10% of. So there's no upfront cost. That is how the PC program is compensated for offering this awesome course. So thank you. Great question.
Awesome. Any others?
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
10%.
That's a good setup. Kathy says feel better soon, Sydney.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go back on not camera.
Okay.
One thing on the post there, it says anytime between September 26th and October 6th. I'm thinking that must have been extended.
Yes, it is extended. Yep.
Awesome. All right, guys. So be sure to reach out to Sydney for more information on that. And next up, I'm going to bring you to Ashley, and I want to make sure we don't get feedback here because you are in the office with me. Do you want to bring a chair up, or?
And then I'll.
Yeah, let's try it out. Okay, so Ashley's going to talk about Brivity here.
Hey, can you hear me?
Up here.
Okay.
All right.
That works, because that's a horrid noise.
All right, so go for it, Ashley.
Okay, sweet. You can hear me, all the Zoomer people, Zoomers.
Yes, we can.
No, okay, it's like nobody responded. So we're gonna start offering leads through the office. So Russ and everybody's kind of been testing out Brivity for the last couple months. And so we're gonna start generating more leads. I currently have about 300 leads in the system that are available for agents. So if you're interested in getting office leads for, it'd be a 25% referral fee back to the office once you close. So no money up front. You can let me know and I can tell you the details and get you set up. That's the gist.
Awesome. Any questions there? Throw them in the chat or speak up.
A lot of low energy.
Well, I know that's something that a lot of people I've talked to have been asking for, is opportunities for generating leads, internet leads, because there's quite a bit you can do on your own, but knowing how to structure that and getting good results, it can sometimes feel like throwing money out into the ether. So we've got this set up. Brivity runs our advertising for us. We pay them to advertise effectively. and bring people in. So between the 90 listings in 90 days in this Brivity platform, we've got a couple of great opportunities that are no cost to you up front to get in and kind of boost your business. So reach out to Sydney for the PC program and that 90 days open enrollment. It's a much shorter commitment if you're just wanting to try it out. And reach out to Ashley, again, this Brivity platform. All it takes is a little bit of training, just learning the back end, and then you can rock and roll with it. And then the only cost to you is when those leads close. Awesome. This last week, they had a fall mastermind with the top 200 agents in KW. Through some of the coaching that Russ and Kelly and I have access to, they were able to bring back some of that. And the biggest thing they wanted to talk about was mortgage hacks. So mortgage hacks are going to be what we've already been talking about with Michael and Sharon at Prime Lending. But I wanted to clarify some things. They clarify some things in here. First of all, 15-year mortgages. This can be a scary conversation for some folks, but the life of the loan, you just pay a lot less in interest. This will be of interest to some people, especially people who have more equity. If they're able to come with a larger down payment, they can shorten the life of that loan and really pay a lot less in interest. So this is what you're looking at with a 6.5 interest rate. I just saw recently it's up around 7 now. So this is even more important. Yeah, so that's that. You take a look at the comparison here. It really it makes sense. You cut the life of the loan in half. You're going to cut the amount of interest you pay in half, right? So this is some of what they talked about, that mastermind. They also talked about making extra mortgage payments per year, right? So one extra per year drops the 30-year to 24 years, right? And it saves you on interest. Making one extra mortgage payment per quarter pays off your mortgage in 19 instead of 30, right? There's all these what they're calling mortgage hacks. If you make bi-weekly payments instead of monthly, you'll end up making 26 half payments each year instead of 12 full payments. And this can add up over time. You see how much more quickly that pays off a loan. So the whole point of this was to become more of a financing expert, right? I think we've abdicated a lot of that to loan officers, and we still should partner with loan officers, right? If there's any questions that you're stumped on, absolutely continue to develop those relationships and get those people in front of loan officers. But starting to have these conversations up front and making it clear to your clients that you've done the hard work of getting creative with financing, that can go a long way. So having people review their mortgage every 2 to 3 years. A lot of us, especially if you've been in this business for more than a handful of years, you have long-term seller clients who've thought about selling and then they don't sell, and then they think about selling and then they don't sell, right? Have them check in on their existing financing, right? See if they can get in a better place, especially if you've got people who are thinking about getting into investing, right? Refinancing can open up a lot of equity, especially if they did not get in on the refinancing boom over the last 18 to 24 months, right? So checking in on these things, some people never check. Also, there are fees that depending on who's servicing that loan, they can have a bunch of fees that were tacked on that often don't make sense. So have them check in on those things. The other thing I wanted to talk about, there's some confusion around buy down, right? What's a percent? What's a point? 1% of a mortgage rate equals 4 points, right? So if you want to bring a mortgage rate down, you got to buy 4 points. And in general, a point is going to cost 1% of the loan amount, right? There's been some confusion around this of like, I paid down 1% of the loan. That means I should get 1% off. That's not how it works. You get 1/4% for each point that you buy down, right? So here's an example of buying down a 6.5% loan to 5% on a $500,000 mortgage loan, right? So if you wanted to bring that down, it's 6 points at 1/4 point each to get 1.5% off, right? So this is how the math stacks up. Some bonus things, assumable loans. These are a big deal for certain houses, right? If people got in on VAs and FHAs, those loans are assumable, right? There may be some other loans that are assumable, although some of them have a due on sale clause that can make things difficult. This bonus, the reason I called it a bonus is because there's some deep digging that you all need to do. But there is such a thing as a real estate contract or an option to buy real estate, a lease to own, that is through Northwest MLS Form 75. This may not trigger the due on sale clause on a loan. So if you've got a homeowner who is interested, maybe they have tenants in there that are renting, and they're wanting to, in a couple of years, liquidate that asset, and they've got some renters who would otherwise qualify but can't right now. They need time. There is an option to buy real estate that if you get a big enough down payment, this is a way to essentially button up something and get a commission without waiting for the 2 to 3 years that it would take them to qualify to actually buy the home. Right now, this is a more complex maneuver. So if you're going to do one of these, definitely do reach out to myself or to Tom Brasher. Let's go over how to fill one of these out. And so that's another option. So as we continue to deal with buyers saying, oh, I just can't do it right now, these are conversations we need to be having with them. And on that note, let's open it up. We got Michael here with us, and let's go over the mortgage minute.
Right on. Can I share my screen real quick?
Yes, let's change that setting. Okay. Yep, you should be good to go.
Okay. Can you see that okay?
Not seeing it yet. Oh yeah, I need to stop my sharing. All right. There you go.
Good?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, so that was all good stuff. I mean, everything was that he was saying was basically right on the money. So ditto on that. As far as the sticking points for buyers don't buy based on price. It's always based on payment. Same with anything else. It's based on the car that they want to get. It's always the sticking point of can I afford the monthly payment? So with that being said, as you can see, Mortgage News Daily, as of this morning, rates are 7.14. So they are going to continue to go up. Now, interest rates are ultimately tied to inflation, and they are tied to the bond market as well. There's quite a bit going on, but basically, the more inflation increases, typically interest rates will increase as well. Oh, sorry, I got a call. So basically what will end up happening is once they finally get inflation under control, most economists think, and if you follow the data, everyone that does follow the data thinks that interest rates will come down. Fannie and Freddie have put out some projections that they think somewhere second quarter of 2023, depending on how quickly the Fed raises interest rates continually and gets inflation under control, interest rates could come down, mortgage interest rates could come down to the low to mid 4s and end up settling there. So with that being said, the sticking points for buyers right now are, I can't afford the monthly payment. So there's some things that we can do to help with that. So if you look on the right hand, here, I'll just blow this up now a little bit better. You can see that I have a few different options laid out. And basically what I want to harp on is that if you believe interest rates will come down within the next couple of years, which the data supports, that means that there will be an opportunity in the future to refinance. So if you wanted to do a permanent rate buy down, which in this case is what Loren explained, where you can pay a point to buy it down, or 4 points to buy it down a point, or whatever that ends up being, to pay based on credit score and so on. If you look at option 1, the permanent rate buy down, you can see purchase price, all of that, and interest rate bought down, total principal and interest payment of about $32.45. Okay, that's not including taxes and insurance. I just wanted to keep it simple. That's with a permanent rate buy down. Now, I don't know if any of you have heard, but there's some programs called a 3-2-1 and a 2-1 buy down. And what this allows you to do is take 2% off your note rate for the first year, 1% off the note rate for the second year, and then you have your note rate for years 3 through 27 afterwards. So that gives you 2 full years of discounted rates. So here's an example of what that would look like. You have year 1, everything. So it's almost 2% lower. It's not based on a permanent buy down. It's closer to something as if you were not going to buy it down. So the first year, your rate would be about 5 1/8, saving you a total of about $400. Your second year, you'd be saving just under $100. And then the third year would be probably closer to, you would have your market rate and your payment would be somewhere in the 33s. It's not really important to show that part. It's just important to show these savings. So now the reason this is important is because this helps sellers. And how this helps sellers, if you look over here, to get a very similar payment for the not only the permanent rate buy down or the 2-1 buy down, the seller would have to drop the price almost $100,000 on this option right here in order to net the buyer the same payment. So everyone, all sellers, appraisers, everybody, not necessarily appraisers, but sellers, agents, everyone wants to keep values up and not have these things crashing down. So by giving the buyer what their sticking point is, that monthly payment, and giving them and educating the opportunity of a possible refinance to save them in the future, you can keep the purchase price at the same amount of what you have it listed for. And by offering a 3 to 6% credit back to the seller, or sorry, back to the buyer, you can end up netting the seller a lot more money. So this is just a very simple example, but I wanted to explain how these work, and they're not right for everyone. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, and often people like that stability of just knowing what their payment's going to be over the next couple of years, and they can still refinance. But this option, if you decide to refinance before your 2-1 is up, how that works is the credit that the seller is giving you for that is actually put in an escrow account. And then out of that escrow account, we pay the difference. So that $412, it's basically paid out of the escrow account. So if you turn around and refinance, you get that back as the buyer as principal reduction. So it's not money lost. So depending on your goals and the outcome of the market, the 2-1 buy down strategy can be a good option. Like I said, it's not the best in all circumstances, but it can help save money. And if you track the data, it can be something that you could get out of and refinance and save even more money. So does that make sense? I know that's a lot of information, but really it's just making sure that you guys know the options that not only the buyer has, but that the seller has to give the buyer, because you're seeing such massive decreases in prices in certain price ranges that there's some ways that you don't have to do that. And just by being educated and partnering, I can do flyers, I can talk to the sellers or the listing agents, whoever that might be, on how to structure that so that you guys can educate buyers if they have sticking points as well, because there's no reason for these prices to be decreasing in certain circumstances. But more often than not, the first thing people negotiate is price. And that is not the best way to get anybody what they want. It nets the seller less, it nets the buyer a worse payment and usually higher cash to close. It's just knowing that there's strategies out there that are far better than lowering the price. So just make sure that you're educated on that, and let me know if you guys have any questions.
Awesome. Yep. Any questions for Michael, guys?
Can this be conventional or FHA, and does it matter? I see you have 20% down. Does it have to be 20, or can it be 3.5? Or
yeah, it can be 3.5. So the biggest point of the biggest and most important point is the types of credits that you're getting. So with FHA, you can get up to 6% back on your credits, minimum down, it doesn't matter. And then with conventional, if you're putting less than 10% down, you can get 3% maximum back from the seller. If you're putting more than 10%, you can get up to 6% back.
Wow.
VA is 4, but it's that you can actually go higher, 4 to 6. And then with USDA, it's 6%. So that's the sticking point, is you just have to make sure how much you're putting down and what program it is will determine how many percentage points you can get back from the seller. But the down payment, I just did that for simplicity. You can put minimum down.
Yep. I think the most important thing to remember there is if you're in a conventional program with less than 10% down, I've seen them as low as 5, then you can only get 3% seller credit. And
even 3% down conventional too, you can get 3%.
Yep.
So there's stuff out there where, but yep. And it doesn't matter if it's down payment is I mean, down payment assistance, it does matter because there's certain rates that are only available for certain people. But if you found a way to use the credit somehow for down payment assistance, you can get 6% as well. But there's not really a scenario where that would happen. But it's still all the same rules apply to those as well.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mike. Awesome. All right, let's get back to wrong one. Let's see. All right, let's see here. Let's share. All right. So thank you so much, Michael. Michael, you guys have is he still on here? Michael, you guys have
Oh, yeah.
You guys have a market presentation at 1, correct?
Oh, yes, we do. So if you guys want to tune in, I can put that in the link down below.
Yeah, put the link,
yeah.
throw the link in the chat, and
Good.
yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, if you guys want to get some deep dives on kind of the mortgage market and things, Michael, will it be you and Sharon on there?
No, it'll actually be our head of secondary marketing. So
Oh,
it's
sweet.
coming straight from the horse's mouth. And I mean, it's coming straight from a guy who does this kind of stuff every day. So I think it's only about a half an hour, but it's a complete market update that'll be very valuable to anybody that's wanting to listen. So I will post that link down below, and it starts at 1.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael.
Yep.
Yep. Let's start shifting our conversations from prices to terms, right? So many buyers are really only concerned about that monthly payment, right? Wanted to go over this. So KW Cares, when you guys are processing your commissions and perhaps you've donated separately to these guys, this is tax deductible, and I wanted to kind of go over what recently it's helped do. So they have contributed 2.85 million so far in cash to helping people out in Florida that have been affected by Hurricane Ian. This is big for me. If anybody's ever tried to write a grant before, they actually have degrees in grant writing. It is not easy to do, and they have successfully obtained over 300 grants, 322, $1.15 million in grants. So that's in addition to the 2.85 million that was spent so far
In a week and a half.
Yep. And this is KW Cares not only donating money, but donating man hours from people processing these grants and pushing them through. They have almost 1,500 generators have gone out, and this is so as power is restored to homes, these generators get shifted. So they'll basically move on to whoever else is on the waiting list. It's going to be a while before power is fully restored out there. Over 20 feet of water swells, and on the KW, the big growth call that they had on Monday, they showed 2 minutes of time lapse footage of the water just rising and rising and rising. They had a trail cam that was 20 feet up on a telephone pole, and there were several waves that went up over it. It was eerie to watch. And there was a KW Market Center brokerage there in Florida, right next to this. It floated away. It got taken off by the water. Four market centers are completely gone, and then there were about 7 or 8 that had to be mucked out and renovated. So they really got hit hard there. And then they've had vendors. They've paid $250,000 in contracts to vendors who've come out and mucked out over 60 homes. And this is all and counting. So this was as of Monday. So it's a continual ground effort out there. So when you guys donate to KW Cares, this is a very recent and relevant example of what we're funding. Yeah.
That was the good stuff.
It was, yeah, really good stuff. I wanted to share this real quick. I think this is like a 1-minute video. Yeah.
At Keller Williams, we believe every agent and their loved ones deserve affordable, customizable, and reliable insurance. Sadly, leaving yourself uninsured is the reality for thousands of real estate professionals due to soaring costs. That's why we created Real Agent Perks. Enjoy a range of benefits, including medical, dental, and vision coverage. health savings accounts, long-term disability, short-term disability, term life, and more. All through a secure and convenient online enrollment platform. It's just another perk of working at Keller Williams. Experience better coverage for less. Get your estimate at realagentperks.com.
All right, and then there is about 7 seconds to read all of this text. This is, as many of you may know, this is one of the most common and most expensive things for all W-9 employees and independent contractors to figure out. I said employees, but you're not. You're all independent contractors, and this can be very expensive. So I believe Kelly sent out an email either earlier this week or the beginning of last week. Yep. But I will make sure everybody gets the link to this. Check it out. Get quotes. You don't have to do all of it. I think there are several different companies that have partnered with KW Agent Perks to make this available. So if you are looking for coverage or a health savings account, something to kind of help take care of the things that can happen, this is a great opportunity for you. And then I wanted to, remind everybody tomorrow we got Brokers Tour. They've been amazing lately. I mean, there was a $1.8 million house we kind of started out at last week. Yeah, yours is on there.
Yep.
Up in Leavenworth.
Mine's on
All right. Melody's got one on there. Yeah, that's awesome. So we're gonna have a lot across the valley. If you are in the Upper Valley or want to make the trek out there, is it in Leavenworth proper?
No, it's in Chihuahua River Pines.
It's in Chihuahua River Pines.
That's the one I posted.
Yes, that's right. Gorgeous area. Really beautiful drive this time of year too. So if you're just looking for a relaxing drive on a Wednesday morning, I would definitely do that. Let's go visit Emily. We got Melody. You got one on the Brokers Tour as well.
Yes, 1611 South Methow, number 38.
Okay. All right. Yep. Go visit Melody there in Wenatchee. And I'll get you guys more information about that. But we meet here a little before 9 and head out. It's a great way to see other homes, establish yourself as a professional. If agents are coming to you asking about certain properties and you're like, oh, I've already been out there, I've seen it, I can tell you all about it. It's an awesome boost to confidence, I've found. So join me for that tomorrow morning. Family reunion. Kelly wanted me to remind you guys that that is coming up here in February is going to sneak up on us. It always does. I highly recommend getting in there, getting registered for those tickets. If you qualify for an award, in order to receive that medallion, you've got to get registered prior to December 31st because they've got to go get those medallions inscribed and all done up. So that's important. Once again, we got a whole bunch of books here available at the office at a heavy discount. So for your own research or as gifts to clients, this can be a great thing for your first-time home buyers.
On this book, Loren, they're coming out with a
Spanish language version, and there's actually Spanish language marketing surrounding it. So I will make that available too. Yep, we got contracts class here in about 6 minutes or so. So hop back on this link. We'll take a quick break to set up for that, but we'll just be recapping all of the changes from October 3rd and discussing the real world effects. It'll be just me today. So no Tom, he's at some training over in Seattle with Marcia. So that'll be contracts class, and that is it for me. Yeah, that's it. Unless there are any questions.